Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Oh my goodness. I had my stream set for PM. I didn't notice it when I set it up. Of course, I'm in it for this morning. Of course, not tonight. I'll be in the bed 10:30 tonight. Oh my goodness. Is everyone safe? Is everyone warm? I mean, everybody in the world has snow right now, snow and ice. We got some last night, but I think there's more coming. So I've got to get back out to the store and make sure we got everything. Hey, Misty, Colleen, Cheryl Lynn, Never Lose Hope. Good morning. Good morning. Still snowed in here? It's not snow, it's ice. I'm getting cabin fever. Yeah, you need to craft. You need to make me another floral headband. That'll give you something to do. I'm just kidding. Well, I don't think YouTube probably notified anyone this morning, but you know what? It's all right. Everybody will eventually get here. We can chat about some true crime. Now, Lori Vallow, her lawyer is supposed to be in court this morning, but I just watched Will's video, and Mark Means filed a motion last night at the last minute to have it postponed because he didn't know about it. He didn't know he had a court date. Can you believe that? He's a hell of a lawyer. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Misty, we got 12 inches. Thankfully, we have a snowmobile. Oh, my God, that is so cool, Misty. Hey, Alicia. How are you? Hold on, guys. Let me mute 1 second. I got a cough. Oh, my goodness. Okay. We also got another case to talk about out of Hawaii. A dad killed his taught girl. Here's the thing. There was people around that could have stopped this. They did nothing. Also, there has been a $100,000 reward offered. There was 2 teenagers killed February 14th, 2000, Columbine, Colorado. They were Columbine high school students. They were killed like a year after the Columbine shootings. Well, they put up a big reward. They did have a reward like of $12,000, but Subway and Crime Stoppers have donated, so it's went up to $100K. We'll talk about that in a minute. Shine on, y'all freezing, and hubby and I were so hot we stayed at the beach till early hours this morning. Oh my goodness, you're so lucky to be near the ocean. I mean, we have like lakes and stuff. It's just so cold here. We've had snow every day except for a few days since Christmas. No joke. There was a couple days there weren't any snow. Probably only like 3 or 4 days. Hey, Faithful One, good morning. Colleen, we got no snow or ice, but it sure is cold in East Tennessee. Yeah, and prayers for everybody like down in Texas and in places that usually don't get snow. I am praying for them. I saw that there was a mother and daughter died down in Texas trying to stay warm. They died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah. I suggest everybody invested in a heater buddy. It's this little heater. It runs off these little bitty propane canisters. The heat would last probably 5 to 6 hours on one of those little canisters, but it'll heat up a room, no problem. I put a picture of one in my Discord this morning. I mean, even if you don't get a lot of snow, it's still a good idea to have one of those. Or get you a big propane heater or a fireplace would work. 90% of Aussies live coastal. Oh my gosh, I want to go to Australia so bad, Shine On. So bad. Okay, so first up, let's get Lori Vallow out of the way. Or should we save her for last? Let's save Lori for last because her lawyer still may be in court this morning. Because he filed that motion like at the last minute to have it postponed. I can't believe he filed that motion last night. Anyhow, we'll save that. Let's talk about the little girl from Hawaii that was killed by her father. This is so sad. Let me see. I got to look at my notes on how to pronounce her name. I had to look it up. She's beautiful. He never should have been watching this kid, kind of criminal history he had. Katana. Her name is Katana. Um, I don't think I've really ever done a case or read about a case, child abuse, on my live stream out of Hawaii. Only when they arrested Lori Vallow. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all come across the video where we talked about a case out of Hawaii, but I just don't ever recall it. Okay. Shut the F up. Dad swears at, hits, and shakes taught daughter until she's lifeless during weekend visit. This is graphic, I warn you guys. A Hawaii man arrested for murder has reportedly admitted to brutally abusing his toddler daughter and stuffing her into a duffel bag. Travis Rodriguez, 40, also known as Travis Hefelinger, I think that's how you say it. He was arrested Saturday night for the death of 2-year-old Katana Ancock. Rodriguez is the father of Katana. She disappeared on January 31st after her mother dropped her off at Rodriguez's home. Police also arrested 48-year-old Scott Carter in connection with the baby's presumed death after he allegedly helped Rodriguez conceal the crime. This gets me tore up. My voice starts cracking. I'm sorry. On Tuesdays, authorities released additional details in the case, including a reported confession from both Rodriguez and Carter. Look at little Katana. Isn't she beautiful? And Katana is a Japanese name. I love it. Bless her sweet bones. On February 13th, a witness who was at Rodriguez's home told investigators that she walked to Rodriguez's bedroom and saw him slapping his daughter and cursing at her. Shut the F up. Get out of here, Rodriguez allegedly yelled at the toddler. The witness said that Katana appeared petrified and ran to her for help. The witness then asked Rodriguez what was going on, but the suspect allegedly kicked the baby, causing her to fall to the ground. F that baby, Rodriguez allegedly said, adding that he had her for 3 effing days already. The witness said Rodriguez then tried to give Katana meth, claiming she liked it. Fucking asshole, piece of shit. The witness said she left the home but returned shortly after and noticed blood on the floor. Rodriguez said it was spilled chocolate, according to the court documents. However, the witness said she saw Katana with bruises and marks on her mouth and all over her body. And you know what? And this so-called witness didn't do a damn thing to help this little girl. Not a damn thing. When investigators questioned Rodriguez, he reportedly admitted that he hit, slapped, and cursed at the child while under the influence of meth. He added that he began squeezing her against his chest until she became lifeless. Rodriguez also admitted that he wasn't sure if Katana was deceased, but he wrapped her in a blanket and put her in a duffel bag. He never called 911. I'm trying to see. Scott Carter, I was trying to see his first name. Scott Carter told investigators that Rodriguez asked for a ride to a friend's house after the incident. Rodriguez had the duffel bag with him, with Katana's body inside. And here's these two weirdo pieces of shit monsters. Anybody that would help this son of a bitch conceal this little girl's death is a piece of crap. When they arrived at the friend's house, Rodriguez got out of the car while Carter told him, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it," in reference to the duffel bag. Fucking monster. Rodriguez ended up staying at the friend's home as Carter drove off. Rodriguez claims he has no idea where his daughter was taken to. Katana's body has still not been found. Rodriguez has been charged with second-degree murder and remains behind bars on a $2 million bond. Carter has been charged with first-degree hindering prosecution. He remains behind bars on a $1 million bond. Rodriguez is a convicted felon with an extensive criminal history that includes offenses for drugs and firearms. Anyone with information on the case is urged to contact Honolulu Crime Stoppers, 808-955-8300. So why is the lady witness not been charged with anything? She saw him abusing Katana, she's 2 years old, little bitty girl. She saw her being abused and did nothing. She turned a blind eye. She needs to be cuffed and stuffed also, because she could have prevented her death. Pieces of shits. They don't deserve to be on this earth. Look at them two. So that's the father, the bald-headed one. He looks mean as hell. I don't know about that other one. He looks like a complete weirdo to me. He is a weirdo. Anybody that would go dispose of a little bitty girl, this cute little girl in a duffel bag, is a monster piece of shit. She is beautiful. Prayers for her family. Oh gosh, guys, that gets me so mad I can't even freaking talk. It gets me cussing and stuff. Yes, she's an accessory. Hey, it's a crying shame, Lisa Irwin. It broke my heart, guys, when I read that this morning. When I read stuff like that, oh my gosh, I can just see him doing that to her in my head. She was petrified. That woman witnessed, the lady witnessed that she was petrified. She ran to her to help her. She didn't do nothing. She asked him what was going on. She left the house. And when she came back, he had beat on the little girl even more. There was even blood in the floor. All jacked up on meth. Bitching because he had her for 3 days. Must have had a lot of hatred towards his daughter. That meth isn't making people crazy. No, he doesn't have that in him to be like that. The meth just probably brought it out. It was done in him. He has an extensive criminal history. I'm going to tell you what, she should be charged just the same as him. Because she should have done something. They won't be getting out of jail unless they know someone that's rich. Because Rodriguez, his is a $2 million bond, and Scott Carter's is a $1 million bond. It's like those pieces of crap didn't have no care that he killed his little girl and was beating on her. They didn't care not one bit. It makes me sick, guys. It does. Really, really does. Okay. So I wanted to share that with y'all, and I want to move on from it quickly. Okay? Let's just move on to the next thing. Because I'm having a lot of anxiety, and my mind goes blank, and I don't know what to say to y'all. It's awful picturing what he done to her in my head. It is. It bothers me. And I can't control it. It's not like I can't not think about it, as I'm reading it. I think I'm an empath or something. I almost expect to see cases like this in the headlines every day. How long before we become desensitive to such horrible, unforgivable crimes? Yeah, sometimes certain cases bother me more than others, and I don't know why. I don't know why this little girl was even allowed to visit him. I'm not blaming anyone, but the court shouldn't have allowed it. If he was given visitation, I don't know what their arrangement was. If she just let him see the kid, let him have visitation, or if it was court ordered or what. She is mandated reporter of child abuse if she saw it in Hawaii. Hey, if you see something, you say something. See, if I would have been her, he probably would have killed me because I would have been trying to get to him. and protect the child, of course. There's no way I could walk away knowing someone's abusing a little child. No way. Or an animal. No way. Could never do it. She's a coward piece of crap. What, she didn't want to call the police on him or anything? Probably because she was buying drugs from him or something. Meth is a real big thing on the islands. I learned that by watching Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, it's a big problem there. Well, it's a big problem everywhere, but it's all over the islands, I reckon. I would have took that baby out of there too. I would have done something. I would have stopped it, or he would have had to have killed me. She should have called 911. If you see something, say something. No, she was probably on drugs and didn't want to call the cops. Guarantee it. So basically, he beat on the baby and then basically squeezed her to death. And then put her in a duffel bag. He didn't even know if she was dead or not. I think Chris Watts was doing meth too. I think that Thrive did something to him. I tried that stuff out, and where I have ADHD and manic depression, oh my gosh, it didn't make me have like thoughts of harming anybody, but it had me so jacked up. You know, I already go at full speed, and I did not like it. It made me manic. Now, some people says it don't do them that way, but everybody's different. Everybody's different. Okay, now let's talk about these subway murders. Hold on one sec. So these murders happened about a year after the Columbine High School shooting. Um, what day did that happen? Let me get my notes. It was in 1999. I know that April 20th, 1999. Okay. Then on February 14th, 2000, Nicholas Cusselman, 15, and Stephanie Hart Grizel, 16, were shot and killed in a Subway restaurant. They were Columbine high school students, which I think is weird. Hey, Kat, how are you? Let me get this shared. I'm just going to read it to y'all because I've got anxiety and my mind's going blank. I always say I'm going to stay away from those kids' cases, and then I don't. Okay. 21 years ago, on Valentine's Day, Stephanie Hart Gazelle drove to Subway on Coal Mine Avenue to wait for her boyfriend, Nick Kunzelman, I think that's how you say it, who was finishing his shift at the sandwich shop. The two teenagers were students at Columbine High School, where less than a year earlier, 12 of their classmates and a teacher had been killed in a mass shooting. But the high school sweethearts weathered the aftermath together, family members said, and were a happy young couple. On the night Stephanie went to the Subway to wait for Nick, another employee was driving past the restaurant after midnight and noticed the lights were still on. The employee went inside early on the morning of February 14, 2000, and found Stephanie and Nick shot to death behind the counter. More than 2 decades later, their murders remain unsolved, and authorities this week announced the reward for information in the case has been up to $100,000. With this significantly increased reward, people who haven't come forward with their information will be much more likely to do so now. We are continuing our diligent work to bring justice to Nicholas and Stephanie, said Jefferson County Sheriff Jeff Schrader. Few credible leads surfaced in the case. Investigators initially released a description of the suspect, a white male, 16 to 20 years old, about 5'7", 100 and weighing about 150 to 170 pounds, with blondish hair. And those details resulted in tips across the country and several confessions after the murders gained national attention. But the tips fizzled out and the confessions were false. When when suspicion arose that a drug ring was operating out of the Subway shop. Investigators conducted interviews in more than 50 drug cases, but no new evidence turned up. And here's what Stephanie's mom had to say about it. They were so happy. In 2017, the victim's family and friends spoke with Denver 7 about the young couple and the night they were killed, and the pain of the lengthy, unsolved investigation. Stephanie, 16, Nick, 15, met in middle school and became fast friends. After the Columbine shooting in April 1999, they became even closer, said Stephanie's mother, Kelly. Although they had just gone through the tragedy at the high school, they were coming through it so good and they were so happy, Kelly Grizel said. We just really felt like that might be the last hard thing that they went through. But the shooting at the Subway shop happened just 10 months later. That night, Stephanie had sneaked out of her home and drove to the Subway shop where Nick was working, just a few blocks south of Columbine High School. The last thing I said to her was, "Good night, I love you," Kelly said. "I'll never forget that." When Kelly Grizel woke up the next morning, she turned on the television and saw the news. 2 people had been killed at the Subway shop in Littleton. The camera showed the parking lot, and Kelly noticed her daughter's car. "I still didn't know why her car would be there. I had no idea that it could be her," Kelly said. "I was very worried. Then police arrived at her house." "It was just awful," Kelly told Denver 7. "I can remember somebody saying, 'Is this the mother?' And you can't imagine. You're hoping there's somebody standing behind you or that they're not really looking at you or that you're dreaming." She assumed the case would be solved within days, but the investigation dragged on, going nowhere for weeks, then months, and then years. Investigators have tested the scant DNA evidence from the crime scene, but nothing came of it. In 2017, the young couple's friends spoke about the difficulty of not knowing why the teens were murdered. "It's just hard because they were so young and we just don't understand," said Amanda Williams, a close friend to Stephanie and Nick. "Going through Columbine and then having to kind of relive all these bad things. We had to do it all over." It's so sad. Anyone with information about the murders is asked to contact Metro Denver Crime Stoppers at 720-913-7867, or you can submit a tip online, but it don't have the link for that. So can you imagine telling your kid good night, thinking that they went to bed and they're in their room sleeping? You get up, make you some coffee, and you turn on the news and you see that there's been a murder and you see your kid's car in the parking lot. That is so heartbreaking. She said she was confused of why her car was there, but it had to have went through her mind, "Oh my God, she must have snuck out." That is so sad. Hopefully, since they upped the reward to 100K, somebody will come forward with some information. I'm just wondering if it was someone their own age, someone that they might have knew. It didn't say that they took any money. Unless I missed that. Let me go back over here. No, it doesn't say anything about any money being gone. There was a description, like I said, a white male, 16 to 20 years old. I guarantee it was someone they went to high school with. I just have that feeling. You never know. They might solve this case. Happens all the time. They solve cold cases. It's a little weird that they were killed 10 months after Columbine. I love the fact our schools, or majority of them, don't even have metal detectors or security as much. Touch wood, but our schools, while not perfect, provide a safe environment for students and teachers. Yeah, our schools do not have metal detectors either. I don't know about the new high school because I've not been inside of it. But like the elementary school, no. But what they do have is like you cannot get down the hallways to the classrooms. You might like get into the school's like main entryway and where the office is at, but you cannot get down to the classrooms. Those doors are locked. So I do like that. My son is getting ready to go back to school because this homeschooling is not working for him. It's really not, and his teacher wants him to come back, so he's going to be going back. It's a crying shame. Hopefully, the killer has a big mouth and was squawking to friends by now. Yeah. Was it an attempted robbery? Melanie, I don't know. That's what I'm wondering too. It didn't say anything about any money being taken. And I have went back and read several older articles this morning. I didn't see anything about it. It sounds like they were targeted. That's what I think. Maybe they don't want. Maybe there was some money taken, and police are just not saying. I don't know. I remember when Columbine happened. My gosh, that was so scary. I actually listened to Dylan Klebold's mom, one of the Columbine shooters. She used to, I don't know if she still does it, she would go around and talk about her experience. Like she had no idea her son was struggling like that. I mean, he had had some problems, but anyhow, it was just heartbreaking listening to her. I don't blame her. I mean, personally, I don't blame her. She seems like a nice lady to me. Columbine has become a death town. I know it. You know something that I learned about the Columbine shooters this morning that I didn't know? If I knew, I forgot. They were 12th graders. I actually thought they were like 10th graders for some reason. Um, Now, what was the motive in the Columbine? They were bullied. I actually watched a channel. It's called Channeling Eric. And there was a medium that done a reading with Dylan Klebold. I guess that's how you say his name. It was pretty interesting. Anyways, in the reading, he did regret what happened. Must be hush hush. Yeah. It's like they don't have anything. They didn't. Even in 2000, you would have thought that they would have had some security cameras. Maybe they did. It didn't say anything about that, though. Okay. Now, let's talk about Lori Vallow. So her lawyer was supposed to go to court this morning. He may still do it. It was 9:30 Mountain Time, which would be 11:30 Eastern Time for me. So he's filed a motion because he's saying that he didn't get all of the evidence, right? Okay, I was reading all about that this morning, and then Will from 411 Now channel, he put up a video this morning, and he is saying that last night, at the last minute, Lori Vallow's attorney, Mark Means, filed a motion to have this court date postponed, and his reasoning was he didn't know about it. How could he not know about it? He filed it. He's the one that said that they didn't give him all the evidence. Hold on, guys. The beauty queen wants me to open my door. My beagle. What, baby? What was I saying? She got me distracted. But Will said to still probably look for them to have court this morning. They may go ahead and have court because he filed this motion at the last minute. And also, the prosecutor what's his name? Mr. Wood, Rob Wood. He has objected to Lori Vallow having a cell phone. Hey, it's not fair. She can't have a cell phone because you want to know why? It's considered contraband. If they gave Lori Vallow a cell phone, they'd have to give everyone a cell phone. Here's what they're going to do. They will give her a room where her and her attorney can converse with one another and it not be recorded. Shine on, haha, he's postponed until the next due date. The world is ending. Yeah. And you know what? He's been making tweets on Twitter about Rob Wood, too. Let me pull up my info here. Don't let me forget to tell y'all about Skylar's contest. It was ending in like 4 hours. Hopefully she wins America's favorite pet. I got a good article here. Let me just get it. Let me read the one from the Law and Crime. Okay, it says the defense for Idaho criminal defendant Lori Noreen Vallow, a.k.a. Lori Noreen Daybell, is at Fremont County Court, claiming evidence is being withheld. The hearing is scheduled to begin at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Mountain. Okay. We don't want to know. Let's see. We don't want to read all her charges here. Okay. Let me just see here. In a filing obtained by Law and Crime Network, Lori Vallow's attorney, Mark Means, claimed that Chad Daybell's attorney, John Pryor, was mailed a hard drive of evidence on January 19th. No such hard drive was given to Means' office, however, according to the filing. On or about January 19th, 2021, not January 14th, 2021, as identified by the prosecution, a hard drive with additional discovery records, documents, recordings, statements, phone calls, etc., was mailed to defense counsel Mr. John Pryor. But to date, no additional hard drive evidence was provided to my office, Means wrote. This is another incident in action of the state to wrongfully withhold relevant and discoverable evidence in this matter, with further obvious obstruction of defense or defendant. Lori Vallow is charged in Fremont County with 2 counts of conspiracy in the destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence in connection to the children's bodies. The trial for the misdemeanor case in Madison County in connection to her allegedly snubbing authorities amid the disappearance is scheduled to take place after the Fremont County matter. Gosh, that was a mouthful. Let me tell you something, Mr. Means. If you can't keep up with your court dates, maybe you should invest in a planner, a weekly planner, a monthly planner. Like, what kind of defense attorney doesn't know his own damn court dates? I mean, he's the one that filed the motion. I mean, they're not going to get no special privileges. They might as well get that out of their head. He thinks he can just pop up at the last minute and file a damn motion to postpone it. Like, who the hell does he think he is? Who the hell does he think Lori is, thinking that she deserves some kind of cell phone? Nobody else gets a cell phone. Let me pull up and I'll read to you what Rob Wood said he was willing to do about it. He's willing to compromise and give them a place where they won't be recorded. I just need to find the article. Here it is. Oh, I needed to put Will's link in the chat. This should go to his channel. Yeah, check out his channel. Melanie, are you laughing at me? Well, I mean, they think she's like a freaking Queen of Sheba or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so the Madison County prosecuting attorney objects to Lori Vallow's request for a cell phone and says she should be treated no differently from other inmates in the Madison County Jail. Amen to that. Um, Daybell's attorney, Mark Means, I'm not calling her Daybell, excuse me, Vallow's attorney, Mark Means, filed a motion on January 19th regarding attorney-client privileged communication. He asked that his client to be given a cell phone so they can communicate with each other. He also requested that jail video cameras be turned off whenever the two meet face to face. Let me tell you something. He is so freaking ignorant. Mark Means. Like, I even know myself that filing some kind of motion like that is going to get nowhere. They're not going to give one inmate a certain item and not the rest. They're not going to give an inmate an item that is considered contraband. Like, where the hell did he go to law school at? He's lacking some common sense. I'm telling you, lacking common sense. Okay. So, Lori's been incarcerated in Madison County since March 2020. She's charged with 2 felonies related to the concealment. Okay, I just read all that. We know what she's charged with. Okay. So Mark Means argued that he and Lori could not meet in an attorney-client room at the jail from March until June 2020. Jail facilities across the state implemented restrictions on visitors due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And here Mr. Means has provided us with a picture. He's so stupid. The only option was to converse with the defendant through the public room and metal corded phone, with 2 video cameras videotaping these privileged meetings, Means wrote. He said when he wanted to speak with his client on the phone, she had to be handcuffed to a desk with a deputy nearby or use the tailmate system, which means said was a recorded line. So Means asked Judge Stephen Boyce to grant him uninterrupted face-to-face meetings with Lori as needed. He also requested a cell phone for Lori so that she could only use to communicate with him. He asked the jail be ordered to shut off video recordings and other recording devices during privileged communication. In his response filed Friday, prosecutor attorney Rob Wood said he has no objections to Means meeting with Lori Vallow in person as long as proper COVID-19 precautions are followed. Wood said he does have an issue with security cameras being turned off, but agreed no audio recording should be made by the jail while Means visits with Lori Vallow. It says the state has been informed by the jail that the security camera system does not record audio, Wood wrote. The state is further aware that a virtual box can be drawn around the defendant and her counsel so the security personnel monitoring security cameras cannot see the defendant and her attorney and any items on the table in front of them while they are meeting. Woods noted, however, that Idaho law considers cell phones as contraband items for inmates and said issues Mean raised about telemate recording Daybell's calls were already solved during a bond hearing in May 2020. In an affidavit filed last March, Madison County Sheriff Lieutenant Jared Wilmore confirmed 2 calls were accidentally recorded on March 31st and deleted. One call lasted a minute while another lasted nearly a half an hour, Wilmore said. At the time, the defense provided no evidence that protected and privileged communications of the defendant and her attorney were being recorded, Wood wrote. The defendant has provided no new evidence that she and her legal counsel are unable to have confidential telephonic communications through Telmate. Wood said jail inmates are required to use Telmate to communicate with their attorneys, and Lori should be treated no differently. Exactly. Everybody else has to communicate with their attorneys like that. Who do they think she is? I mean, they act like she should have all these special privileges just because this is a high profile case. No, 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 no. She should be, she shouldn't have any damn privileges, really. My opinion. Okay. So I'm not going to read his um, entire response, but I will show y'all some of the tweets that Mark Means has put out about Rob Wood. I'm being summoned by a beagle. I'm going to have to hurry. Oh, well, she's laying there. Okay. When attorney-client communications are or were recorded, when attorney is denied access to meet with his client for months, is the current case in Madison County, never the case in Fremont, when witnesses are coached on what they want to hear, one must ask themselves. Now, this is what he's been tweeting. Finally, one must ask yourself when the defense has to fight for. Skylar, please don't do that. For the production of evidence, when list of witnesses for the state is produced a year or so after charges are filed, when attorney-client communications are or were wrongfully recorded. He's a big crybaby, ain't he, y'all? Okay. So a hearing on Maine's request has not yet been set. He and Wood are scheduled to appear in court today, Wednesday, for a motion to compel evidence hearing. A motion he don't even remember. What a moron. Okay. Sorry, guys. Mark pulled in and Skylar started. They need to get over themselves. Hey, she is a moron having him represent her, which I'm glad she's got him representing her because he does not know about criminal law. Hell, he can't even remember a damn date. I thought all attorneys had a planner. Jesus Christ, somebody needs to buy him one for Christmas for his birthday. We have to pay for our devices and killers get them for free. Yeah, and how in the world could you fix it for just her to call him? That's not fair. I knew as soon as I heard this bull crap, whenever he came out with it way back when, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I remember talking about it on the live stream. I said if they give her one, they'd have to give them all one. And they'd be rotting in the damn jail if they gave her a cell phone and they didn't get one. No, no, no. And he should know that. What a waste of time to file that motion. It's common sense. I'm not no lawyer, but I know they're not going to give her a cell phone when it's considered contraband. They'd have to give everyone else one. She's going to have to follow the same rules as all the other inmates, and I love it. Did her attorney take the case pro bono? Do y'all know? I don't think so. I think he's been paid. Didn't Chad? Let's see. I thought Chad got her an attorney. I can't remember exactly how it went down. I'll have to ask Will that. 411 now. He will know that. I'm pretty sure he's paid. He doesn't have any experience in a murder trial, defending in a murder trial. No, no, no. He don't. He's an idiot. He's got about as much experience at it as I do. From what I understand. Hell, he can't even remember a court date. I cracked up when I was watching 411 Now's video this morning, and he's like, do you want to know his excuse? Why? He didn't remember this, why he needs it postponed. And he's like, because he didn't remember he had a court date. It was so funny the way Will said it. I can see it now, 20 years from now. Lori involved in one of the sex scandals in prison. Oh, yeah, she's going to be another Susan Smith. You know, Susan Smith, she got 2 guards fired. Well, I mean, they got themselves fired. They must have been complete weirdos to want to sleep with Susan Smith, the woman who drowned her 2 kids in a car. For real. Oh, yeah, she got a sexually transmitted disease, too. CC, he specializes in zombies and into the world events. Dates are hit and miss. Well, true. Chad told her to talk to him the day he got arrested, and she seemed to already know who that was. Oh, Chad hired Mark means, Lisa Irwin says. I bet after she's found guilty, she's going to appeal for ineffective counsel. Maybe it's a tactic they're using. Hey, that's a good point, Alicia, because he clearly don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, what kind of idiot thinks that his client's going to get a cell phone? I mean, for real. I knew it wasn't going to happen. It's a waste of time. Waste of the court's time, too, having to hear that bullcrap. Mm-mm. I mean, the judge has not ruled on it, but he's never going to go for it. I'm telling you. The prosecution's not going for it. They're willing to compromise. I just read to you what he's willing to do. You know, they can meet as long as they follow the COVID-19 protocols, and they won't be recorded. They're just going to have to do it just like all the other inmates do it. You know. Yeah, she's just in a county jail, not a prison. Hey, Southern Mom, you're late. Hope you're staying warm. Y'all, I can't believe it's just been snowing everywhere in places it don't normally snow. What is going on? Climate's changing. Well, the Farmer's Almanac predicted it was going to be a bad winter. I always go by the Farmer's Almanac. Yeah, that's her, Lisa. Lori, she's a piece of crap. She is disgusting. And you can tell Lori Vallow thinks she's beautiful. Really. I mean, she might have been pretty back in the day before she, murdered her kids and things. And her husband, Tim Daybell, probably a bunch more we don't know about. She might have been pretty back in the day, but she's not now. When I look at her, I see a freaking monster. Just wait till all of her hair dye comes out while she's sitting in jail and stuff. Just wait. She won't look like the same person. I don't think is she a natural blonde? I know Tylee's a natural blonde. She was. Lori kind of looks like she's like me. Like my hair's a dark blonde, but I always lighten it. That's probably what she does too. I bet her little blue toenail polish, remember that blue toenail polish she was so proud of when she first got back from Hawaii, extradited from there? She was bragging about it to her cellmate. I bet that don't even exist no more on her toes. She'll never see no more blue toenail polish. I got news for her. She'll never have her hair done again unless it's done at the prison beauty salon. You can get your hair done in prison, I reckon. She'll not be walking on the beaches of Hawaii ever again. Because murder charges are coming and she's going to be found guilty. It's a slam dunk case. Wait and see. And I'd say if they was to find, let's just say, find Lori Vallow not guilty of killing her kids like they did Casey Anthony, they'd probably be writing all over the world, probably. Everybody and their mother knows about this case. I'd be pissed off, really. I'd be wanting to go protest too if she was to get acquitted, but that won't ever happen. We got to do a Casey Anthony stream for sure one day. What is today? 17th. I think tomorrow or Friday we're going to be doing an Evelyn Boswell stream because I think Friday. I have to look at my planner. Tomorrow, Friday 1 marks a year. Let me go look here. Since the Amber Alert went out. Yeah, Friday, February 19th, 1 year since Amber Alert issued for Evelyn Boswell. So we're going to do an Evelyn Boswell stream and go through the whole timeline. A lot of people don't know about that case. Me too, it's a crying shame. I'd be so mad that happened. I remember reading the wedding ring she chose had a stone that apparently means something, but I can't recall what. It's a poisonous stone. Malachite. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Malachi could kill someone. Hey, Red Rum, how are you? I'm pretty upset they took months to find the bodies of the kids on her new husband's property. It just doesn't seem right to me. I know it. And they never would have found their bodies if they hadn't have looked into Alex Cox's cell phone. His cell phone pings and stuff is what led them to the bodies. You know, I just don't believe Alex Cox died of natural causes, guys. I know that the autopsy says that, but I don't believe it. I can't explain it, but I don't believe it. I know they're professionals and I'm not. Right? I get that. I just don't believe it. I don't believe Tammy Daybell died of natural causes either, or they would have come out and told us that. For real. They said they were not going to release the results because it was part of the investigation or something. That tells me they found something. She didn't die of natural causes. And why did Chad have a different story than his daughter? Said Tammy died in bed. Chad's daughter said she was on the floor, had pink foam coming out her mouth. What's up with that? Which one is it? I believe his daughter over him any day. And yeah, and Chad's sister-in-law told him where the pet cemetery was, and then they pinged Alex's phone, right, Lisa Irwin? And that's the way it went. I'm glad I always got y'all in the chat, keeping me straight, because I get mixed up. Oh, that's why I like chatting with y'all. Anywho. Oh, yeah, me and Mike are planning on, we're going to do another John Benet Ramsey stream, y'all. We don't know when yet, but we're going to talk about John Mark Carr, all the suspects in the case, like John Mark Carr, the Santa Claus guy, the other guy that confessed to it a while back, a few years back. I can't remember his name, but we're going to be discussing that. It's going to be good. I think he died naturally. I think unexpected, but his wife, I think, was poisoned. Yeah. Well, he had been going to the doctor and getting medicine. Didn't it say he went to Mexico or something? And got some medicine. Anyways, he had not been feeling good, and she had been trying to get him to go to like a doctor, local doctor, I think, and he didn't. Food for thought. Did you know sometimes coroners and Emmys are threatened with their life? So my friend worked on the Smiley Face Killer's case. She was sent a threat in the mail, followed and more. Oh, really? Well, medical examiners and stuff can overlook things too. Uh-oh, my dogs keep opening up my door. I shut my door and they push it open. Okay, I'm getting off here. I gotta get off here, guys. Skylar's wanting me to go. Before I go, let's check in and see how she's doing in the America's Favorite Pet contest. She was like 5th place this morning. Let's check. Oh, my dentist appointment went good, guys, but I didn't have anything done yesterday. I had to have a reline done, but I didn't have my mouth work done. They didn't want to do it. My blood pressure was up. Okay, so Scout, let me share this. I want to check and see if y'all can still vote. It's about over. I mean, that's really good in 5th place. There's probably a lot of pets in this. So Skylar's currently 5th in her group. I can't vote again. Okay. Voting for the top 10 ends February 18th. Okay, so Skylar is in the top 10 now. If y'all want to go vote for her, it's free to vote. All you got to do is log into your Facebook. Pause.org is doing this little contest. If she was to win first place, she would win, she would be in Dogsters magazine and win $5,000. I don't know if she'll get anything if she comes in like 4th or 5th. I don't know. I think like second place is like some dog food and treats, something like that. Okay. Let's look at her little pictures down here. I got to promote my girl. Look at her little baby picture. And I promise y'all guys, when you see pictures of her and it looks like her collar's tight, it's not. It's just her neck rows. She's a fat girl. They just hang over her collar. We've got it as loose as I can get it, without her pulling it off. Anyhow, let me put the link in here. Toodles, Melanie. You know what? Let me do something for Melanie here. She's always in here. Okay. Okay, guys, y'all go vote for Skylar. I was giving Melanie a rent. She's in here every day. She's been in here every day for a long, long time. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. Oh, my God, you said it's just her neck row. It is. It's just her neck row. She's a fat girl. Like, she is another foodie beauty. She's another Amberlynn Reed. She is so obsessed with food. So obsessed. And here, I just had another dog come in and push my door open. I'm coming, boo-boo. They want me off here, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for your support. Be safe, be kind, and peace. Have a great day.